There we go. All right. Hi, Jay-Z.
Hey, Audrey.
How you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. I'm so excited about this podcast with you.
Oh, great. I'm so excited you could be here. How about we start with you just give a little introduction about yourself and get started on how you approach AI. It sounds like it's a big part of your business.
Yes. So call me Jay-Z.ai. I am a AI product and growth leader. I think that AI is a big part of getting started with every piece of innovation that I do, from consulting to teaching to launching my own products and being on podcasts like this. So I would say I'm an AI native.
That's great. And how did you, do you remember the first time you really started exploring what was possible with AI?
Through humans. So when I was at Capital One, a leader that I really respected was starting a new team, a new machine learning AI team, and just catching up with him randomly, as you do in a big corporation.
Yeah.
He recruited me onto his team. So I led a team of data scientists and engineers to launch and relaunch a solution for the customer care team. So customer care teams, like, they get tons of phone calls every day, like thousands of phone calls every day.
Yeah.
And so the tool helped transcribe from voice to text and then categorize in a supervised way all the topics that users were calling, complaining about.
Yep.
So that analysts could prioritize investments on fixing and not fixing some of those problems.
As a product manager, I'm familiar with those teams calling me and telling me what they found.
Absolutely. And that was part of the persona, is that product managers before had to listen to the calls, the whole call, or spend weeks finding them. And with Elasticsearch, with text instead of voice, they could just zone in on the thing that you wanted to fix.
Got it. And now are you consulting out on your own, running your own business, not working for a big company anymore?
I am consulting. I mean, I'm open to all work,
Okay.
Full-time, fractional, and all forms of work.
Okay. And what are the priority AI tools that you use right now?
Sure. So, in product management, I use tools for discovery mostly.
Okay.
And so I thought today we could make our own product with AI tools.
Let's do it. That sounds great.
So this is going to be a co-creation.
Okay.
I'm going to, ask you what problems you're thinking about solving. I'll pick one that I think we can do in this limited time and that I'm also interested in.
Sure.
And then we'll try to do it. So,
great.
Audrey, what are the top 3 problems that you're interested in solving?
One is related to education. I have a 16-year-old in high school, and I interact with that system. Seems enormously archaic and industrialized. So one issue is he'd like to homeschool, and I would love to, and would have loved as a high schooler and college student, some tool that would help me, if I wanted to learn any given topic, it would help me navigate a path there. Like not necessarily dig in and create content, although that would be cool, but help me create a curriculum. That's one.
So the problem there is that for you as a teacher of a homeschooler, you want to generate curriculum.
Generate curriculum. I'd like him to be able to generate curriculum. Like, I've spent a lot of my career in teaching people how to teach themselves. But even if a good start would be if I could do it and find milestones, class, some way to, if I wanted to learn about World War I, what sort of broad class I assume I would start with, and then is there a way I could use AI to dig into maybe I was like, gosh, I'm really interested in why the Ottoman Empire chose the wrong side in the war, as it turns out, in that war, right? Or some particular, well, that was on the Silk Road, and then that might take me in a different direction. So I'm interested in that kind of like, interest-based generative curriculum.
So the user would be someone like your son, Andy, is teaching himself and wants to generate curriculum.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. That's A. Let's do B. Let's just do one more. So what's another problem?
Another problem. In my job search, the market is tight, and I have got a I've got some spots of industry experience, most notably in automotive, also in product development that bridges physical, like hardware and software. And I would like to find a way to expand what I think is possible for, so for instance, if it was automotive, if everybody might say, go work for Tesla, work for automatic cars that self-drive. And that's a little bit beyond my capabilities. So I need more options, like more segmentation of that market.
Well, since you are a hardware product leader, can I ask you what kind of product you would create?
That's a great question. What kind of product? I, particularly in automotive, I would create a home, like, when you bring your car into the shop, they plug it into a diagnostic tool. I would like to do that myself at home. I'd like a universal diagnostic that I could plug into my car that would give me error codes, translate those error codes so I could fix it myself.
Can we do that one?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Do you see this screen?
I see it coming. I see it now. Yep.
Okay. So there's this website called There's an AI for That.
Okay.
And it's a aggregator of all these AI tools. I have bookmarked some of my favorites. So I've tested all of these, and only like 1 to 10% of them work.
Okay.
And so there's this one called Venturis AI.
Okay.
In Venturis AI, we can get maybe I'm not going to share that part. We can get a SWOT analysis.
Oh,
and cool. A pestle analysis, like all the frameworks, that MBAs and business people use on your idea.
Cool. I didn't know about this tool.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until I joined the product led alliance.
Okay.
And so some of the leaders there really helped me understand what tools I could use. So do you mind just chatting me? Actually, we can just, I'm going to share the screen again. So we can just write it together. So can you describe the business again?
Sure. So it's a diagnostic tool for home use. I guess a universal diagnostic tool for
for people who own cars, a universal diagnostic tool. Go ahead.
For home use that can that can return error codes that you can translate into actionable advice. What you doing, buddy? A sad cat.
Oh,
I know.
the cat. Can you give me an example?
Sure. So I have a 2012 Mazda Speed 3. It's got, that's an old enough car that it's only got some computers on board.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally, I mean, it's old, so a light will come on the dash or the horn will stop working. And I would love to have a tool in my garage that I could plug in and get a thorough diagnostic of what was wrong with it. So I would know whether that was something I should take to the garage and talk broadly and from an informed point of view about what was wrong with my car. Or if it's something I could research and fix at home with a jump on Amazon and get myself a new horn and get on YouTube and figure out how to do it. So I guess I'm overall looking for education so that I can trust my mechanic, really.
So if my indicator light is on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So
let's see what else is wrong with it. Okay, this is so cool.
I'm going to actually also chat this back to you so we have a copy of it, because we'll need that for the other tools we're
Oh,
using.
okay, cool.
This is like our prompt, and it'll go through some iterations.
Okay.
Okay.
How many iterations do you find yourself going through of prompts? Does it depend on the complexity of the question, or you're like, normally I do 3 to 5?
I just do like 2, because sometimes the AI is not going to give me what I want.
Okay. So we'll learn. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe, there's that book, Don't blame the user. Like, I always blame the AI. I'm like, oh, this AI, it's not going to take me there. So.
Yep. There's people who are like, oh, I'm just not good at computers. And I'm like, don't blame yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Never blame yourself.
It's people like me who are supposed to make that work better for you.
Exactly. That's why we stay employed. So What do you want to name this?
DIY diagnostics.
Can we do it DIY car
Mm-hmm.
diagnostics? Okay. All right. So let's see. And as we're waiting, the AI likes a couple of sentences, not just like 3 words, but I would say like 2 paragraphs is probably
ideal.
The ideal, and then that probably starts to hit a word limit as well.
Got it. I started using, so I bought GPT-4 and I subscribed, and I added a tool called Prompt Perfect, where if you put perfect : before any prompt, it'll run it through their software to improve your prompt, particularly for ChatGPT.
Oh, so you mean like ChatGPT is editing your prompt?
Prompt Perfect edits my prompt and resubmits it to GPT to work better, to get better results out of GPT.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Maybe you'll show us that at the end. So this is going to give you a couple of things. Like I mentioned, it'll validate that this is the type of problem that it thinks we're solving. It'll give you the strengths and weaknesses and all of these frameworks.
Wow.
And yeah, so what I love about it, of course, you could do all this research on your own and have one prompt for one framework, and but like it just puts it all together for you
in like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can do 10 free a month. So
oh, cool.
If you're an entrepreneur and you have an idea like every other week, this is perfect for you.
This is pretty cool. Wow. Yeah, this is very cool. All right.
Is there a part that we want to stop at and read a little more?
Let's do requirements analysis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it out loud?
Sure. So to develop the universal diagnostic tool, the following requirements need to be considered. Absolutely compatibility with a wide range of car models, including different makes, years, and diagnostic systems. One of the reasons I like this idea is because each manufacturer makes their own diagnostic tools, and it makes it very difficult from a auto shop perspective to be able to service them all. User-friendly interface that provides clear error codes, translations with actionable advice is very important because a lot of shops put the error codes down and don't share the rest of the information with you. So, secure and reliable connection. Yep, you don't want your car hacked. To the vehicle's onboard diagnostic system, regular software updates to support new car models. Yes, of course, and improve error code translations. Compatibility with mobile and desktop platforms. Integration with online resources and communities like YouTube tutorial. That'd be cool. That's a really nice, of course, that's an obvious extension of my request without me realizing that that's part of the product requirement, is that you would be able to integrate with online community. It would take you right there to the next step.
Yeah, I really like that too, because it's also a marketing funnel for the manufacturer, right? They can sell you another car, or get you really plugged into that influencer community. So you like that? You like that as like a idea?
I really like this as an idea. Yeah, and then I mean, for me, the next question is how to manufacture it in the current fragmented market.
Okay.
Like,
do you have any criticism of these requirements before we talk about the manufacturing?
No. With the only thing I think is that I like, as I'm, since I've got a little experience in automotive, I know that these tools are a couple $1,000s for a shop, and that they are specific for specific like you buy into a manufacturer system, as opposed to them being built for a wide range of people. So I feel like there's probably a big gap here somewhere. Like, why doesn't this product already exist?
Oh, you're saying because of cost or because of manufacturing?
Like capabilities. So when I think of like Bosch makes a lot of tools, and they actually invented quite a bit of things inside our cars, and they've developed a diagnostic tool for auto shops but you have to buy into all the components that go with their system. It isn't like Snap-on Tools invented a wrench, and you can use other brands' tools with it, right? They've created a platform instead of something open source.
I see. So you're talking about the interoperability of open source platforms versus the closed, Bosch only. You have to buy like this thing and this thing before you can test anything.
Yeah. So
okay.
I would think actually I would add a requirement to this that it's open source, and that would be, I think that would help underline what I'm trying to accomplish with it.
Awesome. Yeah. So with AI, it's not going to get it all right. It's just a
I didn't tell it open source, but I bet if we did,
yeah,
it would change
the next prompt.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's keep going. So we're going to find something here about manufacturing. So let's see.
That's going to be a trick, like collaboration with car manufacturers, especially as a startup.
Oh my gosh, that
right?
Feels like yeah. I mean, I worked in fintech, and so getting all the banks to agree to a data standard is like the hardest thing.
Really hard. Really hard.
Okay, so you're talking about cost. I'm going to read out one of the Porter's 5 forces analyses, which is bargaining power of suppliers, moderate to high, due to the need for reliable partnerships with car manufacturers and access to technical information and even like intellectual property. Is that what you were talking about?
I think so. I think this is a different way to say it. Yeah. In the sense that you probably void your warranty if you plug a tool in there's some implication for plugging a computer into your car. I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. They're like, oh, you broke it. Now we're never going to maintain it or service it again.
Right. Right. Yeah. We can't guarantee those results. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, I think, from this, I never like stop making a product because I always think I have some blue ocean or some competitive advantage. But before we go on to generating the buttons and the design of the app, is there anything else that you want to say about what you would do with this kind of information? Like, what would you do at this point?
I would go do a little bit of research on how the diagnostic tools work now to try to see if I could figure out what an MVP would be. Like,
Okay.
what are maybe the 5 easiest things and most common issues that you might that might be related to each other. Something trying to make the pool smaller, so I wasn't trying to solve all the problems. I would try to figure out warranty liability, like why I would try to go find out why this hasn't been invented, and perhaps find there is some small community of people that are trying to build something like this. And I would be curious what they had run into, what had been successful. And if I kept finding green lights, that there was a little bit of demand, that there was some way to test this, I would start to be trying to talk to users to see who's likely to buy this and what do they, beyond me who can change my oil, but not much. I'm not going to dismantle my engine, not on my car, right? I will break down my motorcycle and put it back together because I can see it. I can see it, and I can take a picture and I can see it. But my car, it just looks, nowadays when you open up your engine and you look, it looks like a 3-dimensional puzzle that I'm interacting with too many systems. So I would be wanting to talk to more independent auto mechanics. So I would be validating my audience.
Great. So let's say you're, the team lead. Would those 4 things, would you delegate that to one team member, one individual contributor each, or how would you break up the next steps?
Oh gosh. How would I break up the next steps? I would, I would at least initially be, I don't know if you do this when you're doing product development, but I'm trying to look for some major blocker. And I think I have a feel for that. I've had enough experience to have a feel for when I'm hitting a block. So I would be doing an initial look myself to try to go find the biggest obstacle. And then I would go find experts in that field. So in this case, for example, my guess is especially because the response is about going and doing partnerships with car manufacturers. I would be going and looking for why are manufacturers making their own, and is there any open source thing? I would go do it myself.
Okay. Yeah. Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully this saves you some time. It gives you a starting point.
Yeah. Because I mean, once I've sort of seen this, I'm like, oh, great. Okay. I can go do a little bit of research, and then I can turn this into a slide deck to make it look very professional and potentially raise money, like make it look serious and important, so that I get serious and important feedback that people are like, oh, you're really actually going to go try to do this.
Yeah. And serious and important money.
Yes. Yeah. Well, any kind of hardware product's going to take serious and important money. I've noticed. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward. Let's say you realize some way to unblock the rivalry between the manufacturers. You found this open source data standard.
Yep.
And now we're at UiZard, which will generate the wireframes for you.
Okay. Great. All right.
You know, for your either your pitch deck or your usability testing, even your website landing page to the pitch deck, right? You're going to need some wireframes. So I still love paper prototyping and sketching with pencils, but let's say we're doing it this way. Would you want mobile, tablet, or web?
Mobile.
Okay, so we're going to paste in this. You wanted to add open source?
Yes.
Where would you add that?
In our prompt?
Yeah, and a universal open source diagnostic tool?
Yep.
Oh, we're at the... we're at the limit. Let me see. Now we have to figure out what to take out. So I'm going to take out the model, for example. This tool. It doesn't look
like it gave us a lot of specifics for my car.
Yeah. Okay. So this design part, we'll just leave it as is. Generate my project. Oops. Do you want to, can you just pick one of these?
Pick one of which?
These design, like skins.
Oh, I can't see design skins. I see Catwow analysis.
Oh, you still see that? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay,
That's
okay. You know what? Let me change my share settings. So I'm going to go to window.
Oh, cool. Wow. All right, mobile.
Yeah.
Indicators light is on. Okay, and so we're looking for a design style?
Yeah.
Let's do dark, techie. That's probably in modern. Yeah, let's see what it does with modern.
All right, so it's generating, it's very much like Figma and Sketch and everything that came before with Adobe. It has a template library. It's just recombining the buttons and the text and the screens for you in a way that it thinks would be a good draft.
Great.
And unfortunately, after you still have to like move the pixels and like all the things around, which, takes so much time.
This gets you so far along though.
I think for a website or a pitch deck, I think it's great.
And I just taught myself Figma over winter break. So anything that gets me ahead of that, holy mackerel.
Oh, it's called Car Check. I like it.
Ta-da! This is your designs here.
So to generate a new project or regenerate another version, click one of the buttons below. Okay. So I gave them a lot of feedback. Like I want to regenerate screen by screen. I want to see the different versions side by side, like generation 1 next to generation 2, but I'm sure there's, their own roadmap. So.
Well, that was nice of you to tell them how you're using it. Yeah. And what you want.
Yeah. I tell ChatGPT every day where it's wrong, but
nice.
Who knows if they hear me.
So many people are like hacking it and trying to make it do crazy stuff. It's really, you learn more by how people are trying to break it sometimes.
Yeah. So
brilliant.
Do you want to read screen by screen and tell us what you think, like the edits or the things you like about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So logging in looks great. I like the logo, car check error. Here's my error code and my maintenance. Of course, it would probably be, oh, the community tips are nice.
Oh yeah, these were the videos, I guess.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I always thought my job was secure.
Oh.
And then
a
you
little
got
scary. Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. And then recent searches, yep. Then your car diagnostics, your mechanic, your DIY fixes, learn more, troubleshooting guide. I mean, this is, I really want to just pop this all into a deck and send it to Mitchell. And
You should.
I need a couple of $1,000,000. We can make this real. This is unbelievable. I mean, think of like how professional this looks and how far along in thinking that you could take this and do user testing and get feedback from somebody who was a mechanic who would assume it was real and it had been built, and you were going to jump in, and it would also be really, really cool. Like you could put it into a car that you were thinking of buying and like unravel their lies. What they thought, they thought their car was in. So is this,
I love that idea.
A little bit. Is this how you help people, or is this how you help with generate business ideas? Do you how do you work with this? Do you think of new project ideas all the time and vet them out and try to raise money? Like, who would you recommend this to?
Yeah, so two things, for our clients who have existing products, then we make an update, right? So maybe they have like oil change, but they want to add tire rotation. So I'm migrating old tech stacks into new design and new tech stacks.
Okay.
But then for startups who just want to raise a seed round, I actually asked them I'll make them a website using AI with this in it, because the goal there is to see if they can get to like 100 or 1,000 signups, which would qualify them for like a Y Combinator or an accelerator.
Right.
And then I don't spend a lot of time with startups on this, because they can obsess about the UX and not nail this. Like, do people want a car check to diagnose and troubleshoot their car? So this, cut and paste, like into the website, like drive, sign
I'm
up.
all I want to know is, do I have an audience, or am I a hammer looking for a nail? Yeah. No. Yeah. I want to know that there's demand.
Yeah, exactly. It's that demand test that this serves really well. And
they even pick good images.
I know this has gotten much better.
That's really good. It's really nice. Wow. All right. Well, and I mean, I step all the way back. Okay. Because I'm blown away by how powerful this is. And we just have a little bit more time. What's your ideal client? Like, what is somebody what's your ideal job? Like, you've got an amazing hand on these tools, generating great stuff. Like, you're great at asking questions to try to help people clarify their idea, to figure out a good prompt, and to kind of demonstrate what this can do. So if you are, how do you see the future in 5 years? Like, what do you want to be doing?
I want to be helping startups validate their demand before they start building, before they even start designing. So I'd love to see, or maybe start an accelerator in 5 years, not now, but in the future, where founders are testing like one idea a week for 4 weeks. And then on week 5, deciding whether or not to launch the most popular idea.
Sure. Yeah. And have you got experience in going out and getting people to sign up? Like that whole funnel of trying to do search and do the ads, or is that something that you partner with somebody with?
I do. So in other podcasts, I speak extensively on AI marketing, sales,
Right. Okay.
and product-led growth.
Okay. We will link to that.
Okay.
In product-led growth. Yeah. I'm going to need to digest that for a few days. It's really amazing. Thank you so much.
Make this app.
I think I'm kind of inclined to do it right now. I'm like, okay, the venture market is a little hard to get money, but I feel like I could shop this to a big manufacturer and see, like Goodyear, and see where it takes us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Well, everyone, visit callmejz.ai. That's my website. And I guess let us both know if you make a new idea or test some